Hi, welcome to Bloom Talks. I'm Stephanie Brewer, the founder of Bloom, and I'm here today at Daphne's Headcovers with Jane Spicer, the founder and CEO of Daphne's. And we're so excited to be here today, Jane.
Oh, thank you very much. I'm happy to have you here.
Thank you for having us. Why don't we start by telling our audience, what is a head cover? What does that mean?
It's a great question. A lot of people ask me that, especially when I say I make animal head covers for a living.
Yes.
A golf club, the top of the golf club is called the head of the golf club. So a head cover is something that covers and protects your golf club to make sure, golf clubs are very, very expensive, to make sure that they're protected. So they have a practical function.
Now, your head covers are magical. They're different than a traditional head cover, right?
Yes, absolutely.
So how did you create this vision for kind of a whole new world of something that really has a practical use, but you've taken it to a whole different level at Daphne's?
Initially I started as a young girl making toys when I was 10, and I made toys to earn a sailboat, and then that morphed into puppets, and then somebody suggested that we make golf club covers. Now, I wasn't a golfer then, but we made some and went and sold them. And the golf pros gave me a lot of feedback and said, hey, this is really, really great. And so Daphne's Head Covers was born. And then we just listened along the way to see what people would like, what worked. There were terms in golf, birdie, an eagle, and a bogey. So those were the first 3 head covers that I made, thinking that they were just appropriate. And then it's just built upon there based on customer requests.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
So your entrepreneurial spirit started very young.
Yes.
I think it's a wonderful story that what you really began very early on became ultimately your career path. So tell us a little bit more about that. You talked about your sailboat dream in the beginning, right? Mm-hmm. So that was the original impetus.
Right. Yeah, and then it grew when we started to do, we being Daphne, my mom, who was my mentor and the co-founder of Daphne's. We were making puppets, and then somebody suggested making golf club covers, and my mom bribed me, and she said, if you sell enough of these, I'll buy you a car. And I was almost 16, so I was in. I mean, who doesn't want a car at 16?
Right.
So I went out and just started selling, giving a lot of bad sales pitches. I had loads of enthusiasm and no knowledge. But it was really good. The phrase ignorance and bliss is bliss applied here, because I didn't know what I was doing wrong. I just knew I wanted a car. So I went out and I sold and I sold and I sold and I earned the car. And then after I earned the car, I realized I liked making my own money and being in charge of, if I wanted something, I could just get it. So then I just continued the process all through high school. And then in college, again, I did just really on the side as I was going through, and I worked throughout college. I missed my finals my freshman year because I had a trade show, worked all in the summer. And then when I got out of school, I got a real job and found I didn't like it. So I went back out on the road for 6 years, selling head covers, selling puppets on the street to gain cash. So at arts and craft shows all over the country, Austin and Colorado and San Francisco, everywhere. Right. And soon I'd earned enough money to come off the road to really develop the head cover business.
Right. Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
So do you think an entrepreneur is born or made?
That's a great question. I think it depends on what feeds your soul. I think some people like really steady and they work for somebody else. And I like making my own destiny, right. And seeing what happens. And when I fail, and you do a lot as an entrepreneur, they're my failures and I own them.
Right.
I'm not victim to somebody else's. And when I succeed, they're mine as well. So I think there's probably some personalities that are more suited to it than others.
What does failure and fear mean to your journey, and how have you really taken those to take Daphne's to the next level?
Well, failure, you just learn. You learn and my big goal is I can fail once, but I can't fail doing the same thing the second time, because then I haven't learned. If I do it the second time, it's shame on me. So, and as you know, the universe will give you the lessons over and over and over until you get them. Yeah. So, and fear, I've just learned to buck up. It's like, okay, this is scary. Now I'm growing.
You have to be outside your comfort zone.
You have to be. You are absolutely
And
outside.
grow
Exactly.
to the next level.
And then you can identify that, and you feel that fear, and you can go, okay, this is what it is. I can identify it. I see what it is. I choose to push forward. When I feel those things now, And having done this for a long time, I know, like, okay, this is where I'm putting myself forward. This is what I can do. In the beginning, I'd feel and be like, oh my gosh, this is really scary. How do I get through?
Yes.
And sometimes I got through by sheer momentum, sheer luck, and sometimes I didn't.
Right.
So,
and then you learn and grow from it.
Then you learn and you go, okay, that was really awful. I'm going to do it better next time.
Yes. So you didn't study business formally in college.
No.
How did you learn your business chops to build Daphne's into the international company, really, that it has become?
Well, gosh, I wish I had taken business classes. But as I was building my business and learning, I asked a lot of questions. I read years ago that the average college graduate reads 4 books a year. So I set out to read 12, and it was like, what else can I read or learn or do? I have audiobooks going in the car all the time. I've got a great group of friends that are very, very successful where, it's a tribal mentality where we're coming and we're sharing and we're talking and I'm asking people who are experts, I'm not sure on this. Who should I talk to? Please introduce me.
How about mentorship? Have you had some mentors along the way in your journey? You mentioned your mom.
Yeah, my mom was the best. I was really, really lucky to have an in-house mentor. She was absolutely brilliant, and then a bohemian entrepreneur, really encouraging. You can do it, and when I'd failed, she said, so get back up.
Right.
Get back up. It's fine. So she was extraordinary. My grandfather was amazing, absolutely an amazing man. And I've had good mentors along the way. My 4th grade teacher was fabulous, and he mentored me all the way up through my 20s. So
it's
just
amazing.
Yeah, so different people that have come, and then I've sought them out. When I see people that I admire, I've never been shy about going, wow, I think you're amazing. Would you talk to me? Please, may I take you to lunch? Can I take you to coffee? Can I follow you around? And I've never had anybody go, well, no.
Because people are flattered, aren't they?
Yeah,
so you really seek out someone whom you admire and then ask them.
I just ask.
Right?
I just ask, and I've never been refused.
It's wonderful.
I've never been refused. And they'll guide me, or they'll say, maybe you should talk to somebody else. And I always go.
Yeah.
Whatever they say,
Yes.
please show me.
Right.
I'm
That's
constantly seeking.
It's wonderful.
Yeah.
And now you, in turn, mentor others, right?
I do, absolutely. I'm passionate about it.
Yes. And so talk a little bit about that journey. How did you move from being mentored, although that's ongoing, right, to mentoring?
Just the entrepreneurial spirit is something I'm so passionate about. And now that there's schools for entrepreneurship and things, which is super cool.
Amazing.
So I was always helping people along the way. I think that's what I'm here to do, is to help. But initially it really started when I was given some classes to teach at ASU. And I was working with the students, and it became so much more. When I saw their fire and their light, and they would text me at 3 a.m. with questions, then I ran with it. And I was like, okay, let's do this. Where are you going? What are you doing? How do I help? And so I have a handful. I have 7 mentees right now that I'm working with, entirely different fields, very different personalities. And it just brings me so much joy to help them find their potential and grow. I sometimes I think I get more excited about their successes, but just to be there and have them bounce ideas off, help pick them back up, at times, help them recenter. They have everything they need. They have everything they need, but sometimes you need a reminder, or you just help them stay in the lane.
That's right.
Okay, you're in the lane, you're like, oh, come back out, doing that. So it's something that just brings me so much joy, and it's an honor to be able to help.
It's wonderful.
That they'll come and they'll ask me that I can help.
And do you find you learn from them or through that experience as well?
All the time. And sometimes our conversations will be so back and forth. Well, tell me about that. How come you did that? Wow, how do I apply that? Back and forth. So they're very vibrant, and we engage in creative conflict and in mental sketching, where we just talk around things. So I learn all the time.
That's great.
Yeah, it fills me with energy and with joy, and I'm so proud of them and so excited for them.
When you think about, and of course I'm sure you share this information with the mentees that you have, but what message would you give to young people, even young women in particular? What do they need to be successful in that journey?
Well, they need to believe in themselves. Really find your inner voice. Think about it. I make animal head covers for a living, Stephanie.
Yes.
So I've been told so many times, that won't work, this won't work. In April, Daphne's head covers have been here for 40 years.
So exciting.
So,
You created a dream job. That's what happened.
I did. I created a dream job. Yeah.
Which is great.
So, I would invite them to think about me and go, okay, look, she's built a global company over 40 years making animal head covers. So if somebody doubts their idea,
Don't believe them.
Don't believe
right?
it. Don't believe it. Now you have to check yourself. You have to
course.
check yourself. And does this help others? Does it really truly provide a service? And then if it does, move forward. Move forward. And there'll always be naysayers. You can't do it. It's the wrong service. People don't need this. But if it's in your heart, if it's in your genes, because there's something at a cellular level when you're creating it, if you're quiet and it's truly there, then don't stop. Don't ever stop. Just carry on no matter what.
That's
You know,
wonderful
you have
advice.
to.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's great. What else would you want to share with our viewers about your journey? Anything else you can think of that you would want to tell them?
I just think it's own your company, really own it. And what I mean by that are all the aspects. So if you go in and you're growing it and you think, oh gosh, this is great, especially to females, when they'll say, well, I'm going to have somebody else handle my financials. Do not, and take it from an art major who didn't study it. Learn them, figure it out, ask people. That's your roadmap.
So you've got
That's
to do
what
the
tell you.
stuff
You have to do
might
the
not
stuff.
want to,
Yeah.
along with the stuff.
Yeah,
that
I'm
you
a
love to
creative
do.
by nature.
Yes.
But that doesn't escape the fact that your financials are your roadmap. They tell you the truth over your mentors, your employees, anybody, how you're doing. And you must be reality based and you must be authentic. So know your financials inside and out. And if somebody says, it's okay, I'll handle them for you, do not. Do not be part of it with them and join them, but know them inside and out. That's your pulse. So you know if you're living or dying really and truly.
What about students who may be more attuned to the financials or to the operations aspect? How do they interject that artistic or design element into their career path?
You know,
Advice from them?
sometimes it's a team that you surround yourself with. It's I'm successful because I surround myself with very good people. Very, very good people. My team is amazing. So I know that I don't know anything and everything, so I know I don't know everything. So I come and say, okay, you're the expert in that. Teach me, show me. And you don't have to do it all.
Right.
You don't. So you bring that creative in, and then you funnel that creative idea through what it is that you want. So you might be a technical person, but you know what it's going to be. Use their gift to put it through and surround yourself with all these experts. Then it grows exponentially and you experience synergy, so you can use everybody else's brains. And if you think about it, no matter how bright we are, you get 2 or 3 brains together, then the creativity, the way it grows, 1 + 1 does equal 3.
Absolutely. It's
Yeah.
like compound interest.
Absolutely,
right? It
yeah.
just multiplies.
Yeah, that's a
which is
perfect
exciting.
example. Yeah.
It's exciting. Jane, thank you so much for being here with us today. It's just been great to have you, and thank you for visiting with our audience because you have such a beautiful story. And I've learned a lot, and I'm sure our viewers have as well.
Oh, thank you very much for having me. It's been a pleasure, and I wish you tremendous success.
Thank you. And you too. We'll look forward to seeing Daphne's head covers all over the world. And thank you for watching today, and we'll see you next time on Bloom Talks. Have a great day.